Welcome to the March 7th demonstration. We were thrilled to have Charlie Byrne with us, showcasing his amazing skills in bowl turning with texturing and color. Charlie not only demonstrated the art of bowl turning, but also shared insights on where he sources his texturing tools and how he adds those vibrant colors.
Thanks, Pat. Morning, everybody. I don't think I need to introduce myself. You all know me at this stage. Going to do a piece today. We won't be able to finish the piece because there'll be painting involved. This is what it will look like when it's done. It's can you put the photograph? The inspiration is from a guy called, or a group of guys, I'm not actually sure, called Natural Selection Studio. And when that photograph goes up, won't work. Oh, okay, might show it to you later. He does some fantastic stuff, texturing and colouring. And the minute I saw one of his pieces, I said, oh, I've got to do that. So that's probably a poor attempt compared to what he does, but it's my first one. I'm going to do from the start to the finish, hopefully, if time allows. If not, I'll cut the turning end of it down to a minimum. So this is a piece of sycamore, 7 by 3 1/4. I've marked out the centre, just going to drill it now. I've overheard a few people talking about their dislike of screw chucks. And before we had scroll chucks, all it was were, before we had scroll chucks, we have, how do you lock this stock? Right, okay. That's grand, just unscrew, yeah. If this is done properly, it's 100% safe. And I'm using 50mm jaws on this chuck, but if you can see how tight I've gotten that. If you want more support, you can use bigger jaws. Now, this is where I get to make a mess.
I'm knocking first, Charlie. I'm knocking Charlie.
That's a good idea. These are called overspecs. You'll sit on your own glasses. Very handy screw fix from, I think, about €3.50 to €10.
Charlie, are you using that light?
I am not, no.
Move it out of the way. Away the camera.
Do you really need to true up the piece? Not really, unless it's badly out of round. So I'm just going to do the bottom part. I've already got that set to 26. Let's put a little step on it. Can we steady up this? I can't bend.
I might get up again.
This one, maybe that'll do. That's good enough. Good enough. I'll manage it. You want high sides on this, so I don't want the bowl to be too classic looking. I want the sides somewhat straight, so the actual texturing can be seen. Shape, so we just refine it. When you're refining, no point in looking at where you're cutting. You want to be looking at the horizon of the bowl. introduce what's probably an unorthodox grind, which leads to little catches like that. Probably a bit too high as well. There's roughly the shape of the bowl I want. And I'm not like your man back Coffin Bear who doesn't have to use scrapers. There's no great need for a perfect finish on this particular bowl because we're going to be texturing it. We get the best we can. Pat. Somebody's knocking at that door. This to me is probably one of the fun parts of turning. You can take fine shavings like that and leave a reasonably good surface behind. Just trying to hide one of the catches here. I've always preferred a mortise rather than a tenon, because you can do so much more with the foot rather than just having a flat base. If you are doing a mortise, it's important you go in a little bit deeper than the actual height of the foot. check that. This is probably the only accurate part of what I'll be doing today. So we have a depth of 3.5. Let's go down a little bit more. First. Does anybody ever wonder why you have two tightening points on a chuck? Is it for handiness sake? So you don't have to turn it around? Or do you tighten both? Tighten both. That's the way I was taught when I started using lathes as a young mechanic. It's there for a reason. You use it. Now, that's my blind. I can take feather-like shavings or very, very thick shavings. And if you were doing a few balls like I was a few days ago, you don't want to be hollowing out balls all day, so I have a 1/2 inch gouge. So much for my practice. See the size of those shavings, and if I wanted to refine it, see those little angel shavings flying off. So that grind works for me.
What is the grind, sir?
Huh?
What's the grind? What's the grind? What's the angle of the grind?
Until today I didn't know, and someone measured it, it's 30 degrees or 32 degrees, so it's quite unorthodox, if you know what I mean. One of the reasons that it works for me is when I'm doing bowls, it's very easy for me to keep that bevel to the shape I want the bowl to be. I can tell you it was much more fun doing this in my workshop myself without an audience. Well, obviously it'll have to have a thick wall because the texturing that I'm going to be doing to it will take away at least 50% of it. Just check how far we've gone down. Just loads to go. or grind. So I can actually hold it like that at the center. And move it from the center out. Here's the other 3/8 gouge handy there. I'll just check that.
Is there any place for angling the tool rest into the bowl?
Yes, there is, but it's something I don't particularly like doing. Like everybody knows, I'm not supposed to be doing what I'm doing here. The fight was to stop and start. Just refine the inside with a Hope heavy duty scraper, round scraper. It's something that I bought about 3.5, 4 years ago and didn't like sharpening it the way that Hope described in his instructions. So I just left it to one side and I decided I'd take it back down and I sharpened it by hand, and it works. Another thing I don't like about this particular scraper is it works best at 15 to 2000 RPM. I very rarely go over 1200 RPM turning anything, but it is effective. And you'll see now the shavings you get off it. That's about 17. Is the outside of the bowl vibrating at speed. I would normally use a bit of tissue, which maybe I have, because the cloth can get hot. And just rub the tissue. The edge of the bowl. Starting to go on fire. You can see the fine shavings it takes. When you wear hearing aids, that noise just drills right through your head. While we're on the subject of bowls, I don't know whether I go much further with that. One of the best demonstrations by the bat for bowls was David Sweeney. Is David here? And having a bowl that sits just nice in your hand. This is from the same block of sycamore, and have a nice curve inside. There's there. I learned so much from that particular demo. I just pass that around, and then you can pass this one around. I'm not going to bother too much about wall thickness on this one, because when I do a bowl, I like to have everything right. The wall thickness, not too bad. But you can see after the scrapers, the surface is not bad at all.
scraper the other way around, Charlie?
That's the
Or is that
way you use it there.
Is it the other way?
That's the way you use it, not like that. Like that. Okay. Just so you can pass it around it. Now it does take a lot of sharpening. One good thing is you can loosen the screw and turn it around and you've got another good cutting surface. Cutting edge rather. This is the Hope carving mount that I got for Christmas last year.
Buy it for yourself, Charlie, you did? Did you buy it for yourself?
No, it was bought for me.
Not the hint.
Well, I was asked what did I want.
Charlie, I have something similar, but I brought my chuck down to Nuts and Bolts down in Watkinstown. And I got a boat about that size.
Oh, I've seen some of them homemade. I'm just too bloody lazy to do that. You know, it's easier to buy one. Yeah. Now, this is one I started texturing because this bloody texturing tool is very noisy. And if you are going to do texturing like this, I strongly recommend you get a full face mask and respirator, because these texturing tools spin at anywhere from 15 to 35,000 RPM. And they spin clockwise. It doesn't matter which way it's still going to throw the dust and particles right up here. When I do this now, you'll see all the way up. When I did it, I said, no, I'm going to have to use some sort of a mask. So I used one of the COVID masks. Quickly found out that that doesn't do. This is a texturing tool, or a die grinder that I got on June. It's like Temu. When I want to do these things, I don't want to spend a fortune doing it. Particularly if I'm only going to use it a couple of times a year. Now, €40 and free delivery. Now,
What's it called?
now these things are scary. I just pass around a small one. Again, got it on, I think I got that one on Temu.
What was the other site you mentioned?
Sorry?
What was the other site you mentioned? Where you got that?
June, J-O-O-M.
June.
June, yeah.
Is that Chinese as well?
It's Chinese, they're all Chinese. Everything's made in China.
Yeah, I don't.
China is the factory of the world.
What brand is that?
Viva, is it Viva? There's no brand on it. That's obviously a worry because the government are starting to clamp down now, or maybe not clamp down, but ask questions about whether this stuff is EU compliant. It's a Hilda. Hilda Ogden. But these things can be mad money. That there tiny one is what they call a saber tooth. It's the market leader for texturing. I got that in the carpentry store. They only had one left, and that's the only size they had, and they're not getting any more in because of tariffs and prices. But they're virtually impossible to get from America, price-wise. If you want to pass that around. That was €25 by
And how much?
that was €8 on either Temu or June, I can't remember where I got it. Another important thing to note is that most die grinders only do 1/8 max, and a lot of the bigger bores are a quarter. I'll tell you I can break that. Okay, that's box. So if you are going to try your hand at this, Joom or Temu for those, they're called wood bores. Again, keep your hand well away from them. That's only on current speed. You put your finger anywhere near that, skin is on. Now, I have to take this off. I'm going to use this. The first time I used it, that bore, I got so many bits in my eyes, and so it's just not worth it. So I'll be back in a minute. Now it's very noisy. Just as I think of something, Michael Fay can close his ears now wherever he is. There's no great need for accuracy in doing this. Just do your own thing. You'll see at the end I have one half done, but just go at it. Don't overdo it. Okay, Michael, you can start listening again. Again, another indicator of the quality of these things that you get from Temu or Joom is that it's not very powerful. You'll see now in a second, I can actually make it stop even though it's going at that speed. And I can't find out anywhere, even in the instructions, what wattage it is. Again, while I do get a few bits and pieces from the likes of these Chinese sites, the safety instructions are just looking here for.
They're in Chinese.
Safety instructions are crazy. Pass that around. So it's what they're not telling you is what you've got to worry about. But the quality of that, I'm really impressed with the thing. This, not so much, but again, it only costs 40 quid. So I suppose you get what you pay for.
Charlie, what's it called when you go to the tin? What's it called?
Sorry?
What's it called in the tin?
What's it called?
What's the name?
Wood burr.
Sorry?
A wood burr, B-U-R-R. Yeah. They're slowing down now. You really need to have a crater, an edge around every bore that you do. You'll see why later. There's no need to sand. I think I sanded that for some reason. Because obviously you're just ripping it all away. I will be refining them. It does leave tracks from the bore. You can minimize that by moving the bore slightly like that. But then it goes all out of shape. I have a finer one to refine it. Now, to do one of these, it takes ages. There's so many stages. Doing even half one of these, you have to stop because your wrists just, whatever it does to your wrists, it just tires them out very, very quickly. They come in different colours. Obviously, the green is the roughest. Black is still rough, but not as rough. All the way down to yellow, which is the one I pass around. Again, if you were to buy them, a branded one, they're crazy money. I'm sure Sabertooth would charge something like maybe 50 quid for that, easily. So I saw this the first time I saw this type of texturing was Emmett Keane. Have you ever seen Emmett Keane do it? And these guys, Natural Selection Studio. Hopefully we can get a photograph up later, but the work he does is astounding, absolutely jaw-dropping. Where am I? It's another one that I got cheap off June as well. That actually came with a warning. I haven't used it yet. Warning, yeah. How dangerous and sharp it is. I'm going to make more noise. It's like a router bit, but it's also called a bore. You hear me now? Yeah. What time is it before I get into making more noise? It's nearly time for tea, so I won't start making more noise just yet. It's a pity we don't have this photograph. Because you can all see that photograph. That was my inspiration for trying all this. I think it's absolutely beautiful what he's done. And that's only one of his pieces. So you'll get him on Pinterest. He puts a lot of stuff up on Pinterest. Or what's the other one? Not Facebook. Instagram. You get it all on that. So there was another thing that I wanted to put up as well, but it's not possible. It would have been, yeah, I would have got a laugh out of it. But anyway, we'll try that again some more time. Right. I'm going to take this off again because I'm going to make a lot of dust. I won't do too much of this, I'll just show you one that I have done already, but I'll just show you what's involved. Trying to get as many of those bore marks out as I can. It doesn't necessarily need to be out 100% because the thick acrylic paint will help hide it. And indeed, some of this guy's pieces, he leaves the bore marks in, but they're all pointing in the same direction. I have that video. Oh, you got it? Yeah. Bang it up there. My YouTube debut premiere is now. You're the first to see it. It goes live tonight on YouTube, so get it there if you can.
See you, remember?
He's got no protective gear.
Comments on a couple of boards didn't come back to me. However, they're still going around.
It's not that big.
You did say they were getting scarce.
Not taking it down. Oh, right, okay. Just a very handy yoke, instead of holding that all the time. The only problem is it only takes 1/8 shank. That'll take a quarter shank. It's pretty much like a pen, much easier to use. I'll just put around the one that I have already textured. I can't because I'm painted. Send it around anyway. You can see I've taken out any flat surface and I've just left little craters. Again, accuracy isn't something you should really be worried about in this. Now, this is another texturing tool. And again, when I saw it, I was like a child after shiny twopence. Oh, have to have one of them, have to have one of them. I saw Pat Carroll use it. He did a square box. And he textured the outside of it with this. Now, sometimes I'm afraid to use this because it's an angle grinder with a blade, an Arbortech blade. And if you don't use it properly, this is what happens here. I'll bend this around. It just digs in. So you have to use it on the side. And because of the speed it's going, it wants to keep going. So you've got to try and control that. Again, no accuracy involved. Just don't do anything stupid. Watch your thumbs. I try and use my body to hold it steady. Actually, it's very, very easy. like using that.
Charlie, the most dangerous part of that is,
Sorry?
the most dangerous thing about that particular tool is you plug it in and the switch is in the on position.
Oh yeah, it just kicks.
There's no NVR switches.
Yeah, it kicks straight away.
And that's the thing.
Yeah. It takes up a lot of control.
The most dangerous is when you plug it in and it's in the on position. It takes off.
Oh yeah, it just turns. And again, as you say, there's no speed control on it. You know, it's just an on-off switch. But can be quite effective. My experiment, I tried with it. Is there. Again, I didn't finish the lid. But that's the type of texture you get. Just put that away. What we're doing time-wise. Nice, we're okay. That's where the tool actually wants to do its own thing. If you're not careful, that's the point of oh yeah, the other one, it's like slaves get Montana, so that's now the black bowl. I need that. I just want to start melting that now to actually keep on those, do something else. Right, I won't send this one around, but I'll just show you what I do to paint it. My palette. Now paint. I need somebody to get me 3 little things of water. I don't like using the spray. I have a lung problem and I don't want to make it any worse. But sometimes I do have to use it, and I only do it outdoors. The spray cans are probably twice as expensive as that. That was $6.50 in Eason's. I've since found out you can get that size in another shop in Liffey Valley for $6.50 as well. So, and that'll last ages. It doesn't bleed or run like the aerosol will.
Acrylic, is it?
Acrylic, yeah. And again, you just work it in and be liberal with it. Put loads in there. Have it nice and thick. As I say, it doesn't run. And just go at it. My grandson, he loves the smell of the aerosol cans. A lot of people do. Particularly if it's, what is it, cellulose? Oh, that smells lovely, you know. But it's so harmful. It's as simple as that, putting the black on. So, I'll take that off. I won't pass it around because it's wet. It'll take about maybe what, 15, 20 minutes before it goes tacky. And we'll get the other bowl, if it's still about. One thing I'm very aware of today is that I'm trying to tell people how to suck eggs, and people that have been turning, I don't know, many years longer than I am, so that's not what I want.
Put that away in case someone takes it.
Oh, good man. As cheap and all as they are, I don't want to lose them.
I only get it back because they're all looking at me.
Should have brought two of these brushes, but yeah. Now this is a bit different. This is fluorescent blue. Excuse me. I tried a few different colours with this and they didn't really pop. So I went over to the art and hobby shop in Liffey Valley and they suggested this fluorescent. Now, there's a knack to it. I forgot cotton buds this morning and I have to go back for them. I'll show you why we need them. You need to get as much paint on the side of the brush rather than the tip. Work it into the brush as best you can because you don't want a big lump of paint in one spot because it'll just go into the centre and you'll have to reach for the cotton buds then to mop it out. And it's a simple case of just laying the brush down. There is a lot of work involved in doing one of these. But I think it's worth it for the effect that you get. Again, when you're refining these things, you don't want any flat edges. You want a crater that the paint will lie on. Some of the edges will be lower than where the brush will actually reach. But then you can get one of them and just go over it afterwards. Or indeed, if you go down too far, let it dry and then go over it with black again just to touch it up. There are other, now you might have to do this twice to get it to really pop. And it's probably the slowest part of the whole thing.
How long does it take to dry, Charlie?
Well, on the instructions it says 1 hour touch dry, or sorry, 15 to 20 minutes is touch dry, fully dry is an hour, but it recommends if you're going to put something on top of it, you leave it for 24 hours. There are other bores that I'll run through that I brought just in case I ran out of things to do. So I think I'm ahead of schedule at the minute.
Have you thought about a sponge brush, Charlie? A sponge brush.
Sponge.
Yeah.
Sponge will go down into the crater.
The brushes you can buy that are kind of conical, triangular shapes.
I think I know what you're like a non-roller roller, foam roller type thing.
Foam brushes.
Now, I don't know if this is the way this guy does it. This is the only way I can figure out that he does, you know. I know I did use a very soft brush at first. It just kept going straight in. So a stiff enough brush, doesn't have to be very stiff, but certainly not a soft one. Right, I'll hand this around now and you can see, you'll be able to see the spots where the brush doesn't touch, and you have to go with the small brush then afterwards. Now, if you do get a splodge of paint in there, Q-tip, cotton bud, and just give it a wipe and it's gone. Once you do it straight away. Be careful now when you handle this, because the paint is still wet. And you would probably have to put 2 coats on. I'll just get put this off, and I didn't need to. These again on Temu for stupid money, I think 8, 9 euros, and there's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 or 11 different type boards in it. I'm only going to use one. Again, this guy, Natural Selection Studio, he never shows you how he does it. He just shows you what he's actually done. And it was left up to me to sit down and try and figure out how he did it. And I might be doing it wrong, I don't know, but it sort of works. This was another experiment that I just ran off. I've just drawn some sort of any sort of a design on the back of it in pencil. Now, the smaller the board, the harder it is to control. It's turning at, I'd say, probably about 25,000 RPM that way. So when you put that on a piece of wood, the whole thing wants to go that way. So with your arm hooked in against your rib cage, do it very, very easy. Along the line. About a half an inch at a time. Because again, if you're too aggressive with this, you can just dig into the wood and scoot towards it, or scoot away from you even. This is something you really need to be sitting down for better control. I have the shape roughly marked out. Is it possible to put that photograph back up again? Yeah, sure. Anyway, if you can remember the centre, you have like a little galaxy below, the small or different sizes columns, and on the outside you have all the curves and that's done, I would reckon, something like that. But to get it right, you have to be sitting down and right at the end. Yeah, all these things here. And there's different size boards that can just run down, pointed, flat end, and have a lot of practice before you get anywhere near to something like that. Whether I keep practicing or not, I don't know. I might see something else that I want. Leave everything behind, don't do that.
Charlie, were you doing that? You practice on something bold? Just
Just scratch the wood, yeah. Just scratch the wood. I mean, it'd be foolish to go at something and ruin a good piece of wood because you didn't, try it beforehand. But yeah, just scratch the wood and
same kind of wood. The same kind of wood.
the weight.
Same kind of wood that you're going to use.
Big strip of each, and they're pretty much all the same. There's a pointed, one that can go in there. And it's just practicing the move all the way around. But again, leaving you can crater edge, but take the paint. he does let people know that that's what he uses in the rotary works. I'd love to see exactly how he does it, but he doesn't put it up online. He doesn't go on YouTube or anything like that. But you can pass that around. You can see where I just started. And the wider the cut, the next ball you put in is much easier to control because you have the starter there, you know, it won't jump out as much. How are we doing for time? Fantastic. Anybody, any other questions, or because I'm actually running out of stuff to talk about. I did it a lot quicker than I thought I would. I didn't think I'd have enough time.
Would you put on your finish over then the paint jar?
Sorry, say again.
Would you put on your finish and over the paint jar stuff?
Oh, satin, acrylic lacquer.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like that.
Oh,
That's the first time I attempted anything with gold foil. And learned so much by doing it. You can't breathe when you're using it. You breathe in, it starts floating on the floor, so you breathe out. It's crazy stuff to use. Again, very, very cheap on Temu. Get, I think, 50 sheets for 10 or something like that, maybe less.
Do you ever find, are you ever worried that you acrylic chip off?
Well, if you want to make a decorative bowl or vase or whatever, it's not rubber. It shouldn't really be handled, you know, it's there to, with any artistic piece, just look at it, you know. Like that bowl I had made months ago, and I just picked it up and said, no, I'll try this, you know.
I'm just wondering if you leave it a little bit rough, you get a better
Well done, Gary. Might be something. Sorry. Because you can't sand this thing, and you're going to end up with rough edges. Colin Murphy had a tool that he put into it, and it was all. I'd say thousands of little rubber fingers that when you do texture, you put it in the drill and it just pulls them out. These are sanding brushes that I found on Temu again, and you can get up to 400 grit. They work okay. They take the rough bits out, but would I recommend them? I suppose the only thing you can really do with it, if you can't get that tool, and Colin Murphy doesn't even remember where he bought it. He probably bought it at one of these shows over in the UK, and he doesn't know where to get another one. So I went looking, and that's 600, 400 and 320. I just used the 320. And it did what I want. You can pass them around the table. Different thicknesses.
can you get those in nylon?
But the trick is that you don't push it in. You just let the push run across the top. Pardon? Sorry, right here is terrible. Flatter. You could, but it's too flat, and you might take down, you know, the size of the crater that you're trying to create. Have I gone through everything now? Oh yeah. Obviously, even with this tool, you can't get right in, so you have to use the cold jaw with the ball mounted to finish it off. I had all this practice in my head and I forgot half it, so I'm doing the best I can.
Where did you buy the extension? That back?
That I got in the carpentry store. Again, I think it was 30, 40 euros. I see them on Viva and Joom for 5 and 10 euros. You know, if I'd have known at the time about Viva and Joom and Kino, I probably would have bought it off them. But Dremel have one as well. Again, don't buy the Proxon. Get one off Joom or something like that, you know, for the money, you know. And you won't use it twice, 3 times a year. You know, so why spend for 40 or 50 quid on something like that?
What did you actually call
Flexi, yeah. Some they call a pen, because you actually hold it like a pen. It's like an old Speedo cable. You know, remember the old Speedo cables? Graham is there, something he'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Just very simple, and that's exactly the way speedometer cables used to be. But so much handier than holding that all the time. Again, you can only use it for the 1/8 shank bores, not the quarter. You can't actually get one for the quarter. Why, I don't know.
You have to go to America.
Sorry?
You have to go to America to Fairlawn.
Oh, they have everything over there. I mean,
Fairlawn.
you go onto Harbour Freight's website, it's amazing what they have.
Then there's Dentist Supply somewhere along the quays. They sell the likes of that job you have there. It hangs, and you can get 4-inch shafts in them as well. I can't think where about the quays.
Yeah. Well, I searched high and low. You can get them. They're huge money. You know, 150, 200 quid. You know, for something that'll hold a quarter shank. And I got that for Hilda.
Quarter shank replacements of chipping away in Canada.
Which?
Chipping it away in Canada, because I have a quarter inch.
Never heard of them, no.
Yeah, now they're more for wood carvers then.
Oh, wood carvers use lots of them. Yeah. I wouldn't have any interest in doing anything like that.
Replacement shaft of quarter inch, because the shafts break if you don't grease them enough.
The shaft here?
The shaft in the flexi.
Oh, yeah, they can break like this. I mean, one of the biggest jobs, the most common jobs that I did as a mechanic in the early days was to replace speedo cables, you know. Yeah, they do go, and all the more reason to buy one off Viva or Joom or Temu, you know. Like, it's unlikely it will break if you're only using it 2 or 3 times a year.
Leave it.
Again, another thing about these is the bearings in them. And it was something that Emmett Kane pointed out at the seminar before last, is that the bearings are nylon. And once you get a bit of wear in them, the whole thing starts to vibrate. So I don't know what's in this, but in the Proxon tools, they're all nylon bearings, and they do wear out. Again, I had mine bought when I heard this, but he uses his on probably a daily basis, and he would buy the best, you know. So I'll stick with buying the cheap stuff. Yeah. Any more questions?
Do you lubricate that with cable?
Lubricate which?
Cable.
Or you can WD-40. Again, you'd want to be very careful because some of these have a rubber lining on the inside, and a petroleum-based fluid will cause the rubber to expand. So, no, for the amount of times that you would use it, I would just pretty much leave it well enough alone. Yeah. That it?
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next one. Bye.